Good morning, my dear students. I hope all of you are great and fine. Okay, let's move on to a new different grammar lesson to enrich our grammatical knowledge. And we shall explain what it's entitled, Reported Questions. As we all know, okay, what do you mean by a question? It usually ends by a very good, a question mark. How about a statement? It ends by full stop. Okay, let's take a look. The reported questions is characterized by ending with a question mark, as you can see. Unlike the reported statements, which ends with a sort of a full stop. In English, as we all know, I have different sort of various types of questions. So I have what we call yes or no questions, WH questions, rhetorical questions, question tags, and so on. Okay? Why do we call it yes or no questions? Why? Can you just tell me why? Excellent. Because when I answer, when I give a reply, you're going to say yes or no. Like when I say, do you like cheese? Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. So simply you're going to answer by yes or no. That's why we call it yes or no questions. Why do we call it WH questions? Because WH questions, it starts by what we call a question word. What do I mean by a question word? A question word like, let's say how much, how many, how far, how deep, or where, when, whose, why, and so on. Okay, here it is. We have two kinds of reported questions. The first one is called yes or no questions, as we said before. Why do we call it yes or no? Because the answer should always be yes or no. Okay? Let's say, Miss, how do I know that I have yes or no question in my exam or my homework? Let me tell you the key. In yes or no question, usually we're going to find that the question itself starts with do, does, or did, has, have, or had, am, is, or are, was, or were, or simply a modal verb. What do you mean by a modal verb? A modal verb, like when I say can, very good, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, and so on. That's all we call it modal verbs. How do you know that I have a WH question? Excellent. Like I said before, it starts with what we call a question word, like when, why, whose, where, how much, how many, how far, how fast, and so on. We're going to take each one alone and explain in more kind of details. Okay? The point is how to change a direct question into an indirect. As we have just before or explained before, the reported statements, I should follow also here some sort of steps. Let's see the first one. It's kind of like, let's say, a common or a ground rule that usually we cancel or omit the question mark. I should cancel it, okay? Second is, here I'm asking someone. So I'm going to simply change said to be asked because I'm asking, I'm posing a sort of a question. If you're going to find do or does in your question, it's completely cancelled. My reply should be in past simple tense. How about if I find did? If you're going to have did, we cancel did, and the reply also should be in past perfect. What's past perfect? Is simply had plus past participle. Change also the pronouns. Pronouns, he, she, it. Sometimes you may find someone named like Tom, and so on. Change also the tense by shifting one step back to the past. And the last one, change the expressions. Let's have number A, yes or no question. The idea in yes or no question or in WH, whatever it is, that I should keep the sequence of the sentence. The sequence or the order is very important. I shouldn't overlap. Let's have the example first before the rule itself. Tom asked Kevin. So who's asking who? It's Tom asking Kevin. Are you Canadian? Start by are you. So is it yes or no or WH? It is yes or no because I don't have a question word. I want to change it into indirect. So I'm going to follow that kind of rule, order, sequence. I'm going to simply say, Tom asked Kevin, can you see if he was Canadian. Why was? Because I have are. Move one step back, I'm going to say was or were. Example number 2 is, he asked, has Tom got a car? One more time, has Tom got a car? It is yes or no question because I don't have a question word. So if I want to report, I'm going to say, he asked if Tom had got a car. And as you can see that we cancel the question mark and we can have a full stop. Let's have more and more examples to practice more. And as you know, practice makes perfect. She asked me, do you like football? So you're going to say, I said before, when we have do, we cancel do, and the answer should be in past simple tense. So do is like a helping verb. My main verb is like, not do. So I'm going to say, she asked me if I liked football. Example number 4 is, he asked, did you go to the zoo yesterday? I have here did. I said before, previously, we cancelled did, and our answer should be in very good past perfect tense. So where is my main verb here? It is go. It's not did, it's go. So I'm going to say, he asked if I had gone to the zoo. I may say the day before or the previous day. Okay? When we report a yes or no question, we need to use if. Okay? And don't forget to change any verb, tenses, pronouns, and time expressions. Let's have more and more kind of examples. Are you ready to go swimming? John asked Bill if he, very good, was ready to go swimming. And I have a full stop. Did you take my handbag yesterday? Alice asked if I had taken her handbag the day before or the previous day. And also we have a full stop. Were you at Alice's party last night? The direct question is, and asked Paul, were you at Alice's party? That's the direct one. Change into indirect, gonna say, and asked Paul if he had been at Alice's party the previous night or the night before. How about WH questions? As I said before, WH questions start with what we call a question word, okay? And we don't have if anymore, it's cancelled. How about the rule here? I said here we're going to use asked. Copy the question word as it is. What do I mean? I mean, if the question starts by why, in your answer you're going to have why one more time. If the question starts by how much or how many, in our answer I'm going to use how much or how many one more time. And you're going to have, like we said, pronoun or a noun according, and the verb, which you're going to move one step back, and also we're going to change the expressions. Let's have more and more examples. She asks, where do you live? Where do you live? Start by where. Is it yes or no or WH? It is very good. Yeah, WH. Why WH? Because I have a question word, which is where. So simply, if I'm going to change into indirect, I will say they asked, or she asked, whatever. She asked where I lived. What did I say where I lived? Because I have do. And I said before, when we have do, we cancel do, and I'm going to answer in past simple tense. Past of live is lived. Example number 2 is, they asked, why were you late? It is a sort of WH. Why? Because we have why, which is a question word. So they asked why I were or why I had been late. She asked, how much is this coat? She asked how much that coat was. Why was? Because was is the past form of is. Let's have more and more example. What are you doing this afternoon? So that's the direct question. Mark asked Helen, what are you doing this afternoon? I'm going to report what Mark has just said. So I'm going to say, Mark asked Helen what she was doing that afternoon. Let's practice more. Come on. Mother said to me, are you going to join the army? Use if. Why if? Because I have a yes or no. So simply I will say, Mom asked me if I was going to join the army. I said to the boys, are you having a test today? Asked. It's also yes or no question. So you're going to say, very good. I asked the boys if they were having a test that day. Will you attend the tennis match tomorrow? Mary said to Meg, use the day after. So you're going to say, Mary asked Meg if she would attend the tennis match the day after. Or the following dates, also correct. How much is this dress? Mona asked her friend. Use that dress. Mona asked her friend how much that dress was. Was because past of is. When did you participate in the race? Mark said to Tom. Use ask. When? So I have what we call WH. So I'm going to simply say, Mark asked Tom when he participated or had participated in the race. And I would prefer more had participated. Thank you all for listening. Wish you a happy and a pleasant day.